It looks fine. Okay.
Hurricane mode right now. Yeah, so we haven't, I'm careful a little bit tonight, to see if you can shade that.
Oh, yeah. Just do a short presentation.
No problem. You're ready. Good to see y'all. Yeah. Look, your town manager already has your speed dial.
Oh, I guarantee you.
Yeah, every time it comes, oh, nice to.
That's that.
We'll find it. Let's talk, let's talk.
That's awesome. We appreciate your help.
No problem.
I'm gonna say 45. Mike, what do you think?
Prediction will not, tonight's meeting.
And that doesn't include the clerk session.
These county boss. Oh, yeah. Alan. There's Tony's up
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. So I move forward from there. First question I got is. I was thinking of what to make a move. He's looking for a belt.
Alan, you speaking up?
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Oh, don't worry. I'm messing around Friday afternoon.
Yeah. Are you?
I'm fine, don't worry.
Good, how are you? Pardon? Probably gonna. Yeah. We'll see. FEMA paperwork too, I guess. I've done it once, but it was over 20 years ago when I was in the city of Shelby. The ice storm. That arms and bridges.
We love him.
Yeah.
Mostly
I'm a good feller. He got these young ears.
Man, you just got power over the day.
Yeah.
Working in the audio.
Don't lose power.
Yeah.
Still have it yet? We were lucky. Got back Sunday afternoon. You still don't have power yet? Oh, do you have it? You did? Oh, yay, aren't you glad? Oh, yes, we've heard.
All right, we'll call the Boiling Springs Town Council meeting for October to order. Welcome, everybody. If you don't mind, tonight we would like to begin with a moment of silence just for the devastation, the loss of life, those who are still missing, everything that's been going on. And so if you'll join us for just a second in a moment of silence to remember. be with us. Thank you. Now I'd like to invite Sydney Thomas up, Student Body President at Crest High School, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Sydney. Before we move on with the adoption of the agenda, I have another request. I hope this is not too much of a surprise, and I know that they're going to be mad at me, but that's too bad. Town employees, will you please stand up? Will you please stand up? I have been a fly on the wall sitting around in the past couple of days, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing. Well done. Really excellent job. Thank you. All right, so moving on now with the adoption of the agenda. Are there any amendments, or if not, is there a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
All right, I have that motion from Councilman Wood, a second from Councilman Green. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise? All right, and that carries unanimously. Is that happening? That's not just me, right?
Mr. Schweppe is hereby
Hey, John.
participating via phone. He's trapped in his home
Yes.
by City of Shelby electric trucks.
Well, that's good.
He did not want to tell him to leave for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, this all happened on his wife Elizabeth's birthday, so she got a great birthday present. Our next item of business is a proclamation.
She is not. She was also not able to make it today. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I will, I'm just gonna read this from here. A bit ironic and with the state of our greenway, but it is Great Trails State Day. Whereas Town of Bowling Springs' natural beauty is critical to its residents' quality of life, health, and economic well-being, and whereas the trails that span across our community are an integral part of the recreational and transportation possibilities of our area and promote an enjoyment of scenic beauty by our residents and our visitors, and whereas the parks, greenways, trails, and natural areas in our community are welcoming to all and provide a common ground for people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds to access our rich and diverse natural, cultural, and historic resources. And whereas trails offer quality of life benefits to all as expressions of local community, character, and pride, as outdoor workshops for science education, as tools for economic revitalization, as free resources for healthy recreation, as accessible alternative transportation, and as sites for social and cultural events. And whereas the North Carolina General Assembly designated the third Saturday in October as Great Trails State Day in North Carolina to promote and celebrate the state's extensive network of trails that showcase our state's beauty, vibrancy, and culture. And whereas North Carolina is known as the Great Trails State, and now therefore I, Daniel Thomas, Mayor, do hereby proclaim October 19th, 2024 as Great Trails State Day in the town of Boiling Springs and commit its observance to all people. Further, I urge all citizens to explore trails around the town of Boiling Springs on this day and join other communities across North Carolina in celebrating trails on October 19th when they may be opened back up. Thank you to Kim as well for helping us out at the Greenway. Community reports, Gardner Webb, Shevins.
Good evening, everyone. As you can imagine, my first bullet point has to do with the storms we were facing. I wanted to let everybody know, much like many other organizations, the Office of Christian Life and Service is partnering with Poplar Springs Baptist Church as a collection station. You guys know the drill by now. Manual can openers, non-perishable foods, cleaning products, the like. Encourage folks to participate in that where they can. And I also encourage folks, I know different businesses are starting to get their doors reopened and get going again. We do have almost all of our facilities, food facilities, open and available to the public as well. So, bit surreal getting ready to share the second half of this, but we will move on. We will be fine. Everything will work well for all of us. We will recover and be better than we were. So, turning the page, looking forward to the future. Homecoming, October 18th, 19th, and 20th. Bo's Battle Cue, sanctioned by the Southern Barbecue Network. There are cash prizes for that, so I encourage you to come out. If you've got the best pork butts, come out and cook them and let's see what you got. We do have ribs there as well. We also have a people's choice, so if you're not the chef, come out and taste and judge folks. It's a good pastime. Football game, parades, all the festivities with that. We will have the Golden Knights jumping into Spangler Stadium, so that you heard it here first. This is the first time we've announced it. Working on the final logistics there, but they have confirmed they will be here. So come out and see that. Following that on Sunday, we'll have worship at the Web. Admissions, as soon as we enroll this last class, we start on next year's class. And admissions is currently offering a early admission advantage. It's priority housing options, free parking, and other benefits for students who apply and are accepted by November 15th. So if you know any high school seniors, I think some of you might, send them our way, and there's a lot of advantage to getting your foot in the door early. Two more things. November 16th, we will have an Eagles tribute band at the Brinkley Amphitheater. That is On the Border is the name of that band. If you've heard of the Eagles, I'm sure most of you have. Come on out. I hear it's going to be a great time. And then the last thing, it feels really weird saying this, December 5th, Founders Day ceremony and our annual Festival of Lights will be held on campus. So more details and times and things like that I'll share later, but just wanted to give you something you could put on your calendar. But appreciate being here, and thank you guys for all you did.
Thank you, sir. Rolling Springs Little League, Mr. Evans.
Good evening, Council. As most of you know, I am Caleb Edwards, representing the Bowling Springs Youth Baseball. To provide a report, I have my Vice President Tripp. Our President Daniel Champion was not able to make it. He was called to a church for serving food for the community, so a great cause there. Very transparent update on since we spoke with you in August requesting the use of the fields. We've cleared a few obstacles in our way, and we have plans to continue jumping those obstacles. The first one being YMCA was in great cooperation to settle their debt with the Little League, so we're all free and clear there. That's a huge help, so we're greatly appreciative of their cooperation there. The next obstacle was our 501c3 official registration. We are incorporated with the state. We have our federal tax ID, and we have our tax exemption letter. So moving on, next step is clearing our bank, and as soon as we get some IDs resolved, we'll have our bank set up and be ready to collect sponsorships and grants, which takes me into my next bullet point, and stop me if I'm going too fast here. We have created a sponsorship program that we are starting to advertise through the community, and we have a list of over 60 different sponsors that the board has come up with, either contacts or people know somebody in the county or the community, Facebook references, just socializing everything. So once the bank's going, we're going to start advertising and collecting for sponsorship and grants. We do have a couple board members who've reached out to Dick's Sporting Goods and Dunn Sports. They have programs for youth sports grant programs, and we are looking at what the details are there. We have signed up for them and officially filed, but now the board's got to meet to determine exactly what our ask is going to be there. The Dick's Sporting Goods one could be substantial, up to 25 grand, but we only want to ask for what we could use, so that's helpful. Naturally, that would go probably towards equipment, baseball helmets, bats, balls, spare gloves for kids that may not go afford them, that kind of stuff. And same for guns. Let's see, what else am I missing on sponsors? And we can share a copy of the sponsors program once, if you guys want it, or we'll post it on our Facebook page here later. We are currently meeting every first and third Sunday to keep all these action items going. Mr. Zach Parker and the mayor are formally invited as stand-in honorary board members just to keep the information going. And now for the infrastructure improvements we spoke about in August. The board walked the field, 3 weeks ago, and put together a long list of things, specifics that we wanted to identify, and we prioritized our top 3 for this fall/winter before the spring season. It was the commercial lawn service, the fencing, and the building infrastructure, so like the paint and fixing up some of the roofs and stuff like that. In doing so, we all identified local companies in either Bowling Springs or the county or immediate region that our board have connection with, and we sent out RFPs. We sent out the RFPs 13 days ago, Wednesday, and then 2 weeks tomorrow. And we asked for the proposals to be back tomorrow, last Friday. Well, we all know what happened last week, so it's understandable. Some had other commitments that they weren't gonna meet, but they're interested, so. Unfortunately, we are still waiting on proposals for all those items, but we are hopeful. Every one of them expressed great interest in providing something, having a conversation and seeing what we can do to accommodate. So that's great news. I'm hoping to have maybe, I'm gonna say maybe the November or the December council meeting, we'll have some specific numbers that we'll be asking exactly of the council to support after we have those proposals. And it is just too fast of a timeline to get those RFPs and those proposals back. Any questions on that so far? We are looking to have a plan a community support spring cleanup day, date to be determined, but that's one of the perspectives too, is to just have good old fashioned, many hands make light work, right? So go out and pull weeds, fix fence what we can manually ourselves, that kind of stuff. Maybe spruce up some paint if we need to. We'll figure out what that day looks like as we go closer. We did set our opening ceremony day to April 5th, 2025. It's a Saturday, weather permitting, of course. We were trying to take into consideration spring breaks and all that kind of stuff. But we are claiming it to be the Grand Slam at the Springs. So our intent is to have some sort of big community event. Now this is all vision, we haven't put any plans to paper yet. But food trucks, music, kids stuff, just making an attraction for community, whether they are playing Little League or not, but just let people know that, hey, baseball's here, maybe you are wanting to know what it's about, but you didn't sign up and come hang out and socialize with everybody. Membership. So one of our next immediate items, Tripp and I were talking about this just on the phone the other day, and I was with Daniel today, was getting our website up going. So since we are affiliated with Little League, there is a IT company that offers their services free to Little League affiliated clubs to create a website that has membership management and a retail shop, you could say. So we could have some like sweatshirts and t-shirts and hats available to the community or whoever wants to buy it, grandparents across the country, whatever. And the proceeds would be helped to be a fundraiser. So we're gonna be working on that website set up with a company called Sports Connect, is that right? And then our goal is to have that here in November, December, because we're hearing from surrounding markets that membership signups start as early as December in some places. So that's right around the corner. We're in October. We want to make sure that we have plenty of opportunity. I don't know if we'll hit the December, but we'll probably go for January for sure for membership sign up. So again, stay connected with us through Tripp or I or Daniel and our Facebook page. We'll make sure to post that information when it's available. We did discuss, and after market research, we discussed landing on $60 a player for a membership. Again, market research indicated anywhere between 50 and 65, 70. We want to be right in the middle of that $60, and leveraging the Little League webpage that does the membership management for us. Some of that will come off the top for Little League affiliation cost, Little League provided insurance for the players and the umpires and the coaches, and then the rest will go towards team jerseys and umpiring costs. So in theory, right now on paper, it's net neutral, which for a nonprofit is the goal, right? So if all we had was membership revenue and expenses, we would have a season. All right. So I mentioned the Facebook page. It's really easy. It is a little bit long, but it is easy to remember. It's Youth Baseball Bowling Springs, NC. We gotta clarify that because there is one in South Carolina. So we want to drive you there. But I left these two graphics here just to demonstrate the excitement. I think we've all seen it and heard it in our friend circles, but our August 17th post that we were going to reach out and do this hit 8,300 people in the area, which is incredible. Now, that doesn't convert to membership, we know that, but the word is out and it's spreading good. So, and then our demographics there, as you can see, it might be a little hard to read, but basically the age group from 25 to 44, parents, and mostly female, engaged with this. So that's a great sign that we have the attention of the community and the kids' parents are paying attention and they're excited about this. We're super excited about it. We're quite honestly kind of impressed with our activity so far. We're happy we got the 501c3 so early. We're making great progress. Any questions?
No surprise to me with you two at the helm, so, and Daniel as well.
So,
Well done.
thank you.
Very impressive. And good thing about the NC, I've received at least 3 angry calls from people who think this is Bowling Springs, South Carolina. I resolved one of the issues. I feel pretty good about that. And I've written seriously well done on that.
Thank you, Council. Have a great night.
Good job.
Our next item is, I'm sorry, anybody sign up, is anybody here that would like to speak that isn't, on an agenda item? Okay. The next item is, consent agenda. I know that there's a request for information on a couple of them, not necessarily a request to pull them out. Councilman Litton, I think, has a question. If it can work that way.
Yeah.
Fire away.
And Mr. Manager explained the $125,000 potential match. It's listed in there twice, and I'm just confused. Is it just one time, or is it 2 times? And where are we planning to get that money?
Tell me what page you're on, please.
It's item number 5, it's listed in item number 5.
Yep.
It's also listed one other place.
Yes,
Let me get
so,
Page 18.
yes, part of our Great Trails State, and also the recreational, parks grant, which they call accessible parks. So, our acceptance of these grant funds is contingent on receiving a $25,000 donation from a local foundation that we have already been in contact with. That $25,000 is then going to be applied to the recreational trails grant, which council adopted a resolution for last month. That $25,000 from the foundation then becomes $125,000 because that grant match is 1 to 4. That 125 then we will take and that's local dollars for the 25,000, and then 100,000 of federal dollars because that is a federally funded grant. We'll then take that money and apply it twice, once to Great Trails State and once to accessible parks. We have met with all of the interested parties and confirmed that that will work. And so, we were not going to apply if that was not going to work. And so the town's investment will be nothing because the $25,000 is being provided to us from a local foundation. And, so then that will be, $875,000. I'll be honest, it's been a second since I've looked at this. I'm trying to reach back. 825? Okay, I'm sorry, my math's off. Yes, 825, I'm sorry. And so we would then use that money to complete the multi-use path section of the town park plan. And that's leveraging local foundation dollars, federal resources, and then we use those federal resources as the match for both 2 separate state grants.
Is that the ARPA money?
So the federal resource money is ARPA money that the federal government is running through North Carolina Recreational Resource Services. but because it's federal, it can match state funds, but they can't, the two state can't match each other. So that's how it works. So we're using that federal ARPA funding through the state, Recreational Resources Service to match one from NC Parks and then one from NC Trails, I think is what it is.
Okay, thanks for the explanation.
Yes, sir.
All right, is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
I move the consent agenda be adopted.
All right, motion from Councilman Green, is there a second? Second. Second from Councilman Thomas, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those likewise, okay, that consent agenda is adopted unanimously. Board and planning and adjustment updates? Yes.
Good evening, Council. I'd first like to start, this has nothing to do with Board of Planning, but I've got to work firsthand with some of our public works guys these past 2 days, and I've got to say, they knocked it out of the park. I mean, they are just awesome guys. Kudos to them all the way to the end. They really hats off. I've never worked with people like them, and they're very professional, and they get the job done. So if you see them out and about, give them a pat on the back, because they work hard. Okay, Planning Board, there are 2 public hearings coming up. The first public hearing will be during the first Planning Board meeting, which will be October 15th. And the second one will be November 12th, which is during Town Council. So those 2 public hearings, they're being advertised in the next coming week in the Shelby Star. They are for 3 agenda items, 3 text amendments in our Unified Development Ordinance. The first one is the Manufactured Home Overlay District, which you've all heard of a few times now, and the Planning Board is very familiar with. We've worked very diligently. We found an area between Cliffside and Old Cliffside Road to where the overlay district can go. It gives some sizing standards for manufactured homes and allows them through a special use permit. So we have to do a public hearing for that, along with these other 2. The other one is adult-oriented businesses. Right now in the UDO, it's kind of mixed-matched a little bit between retail and non-retail. So we're trying to clean that up a little bit and kind of plan strategically where they can go in town with a special use permit. So that will require a public hearing. And then the last one is for in-home daycares, not a commercial daycare center, commercial, a dedicated business. But these are in-home daycares. Right now they're allowed in the R20 and R10 districts. We didn't see a need for them in R10 just because those are the most dense that we have, and there's no yard for the kids to be in, and there's high traffic in those areas. So we're moving it to R20 and the R15 zones with a special use permit. They'll still have to get all of their state guidelines in order, or meet all of their state guidelines, and they still are inspected by the state. We just have to give them a place to go. And so we found that R15 and R20 were the best to go. And that is all I have about public hearings.
Thank you, sir. All right, good deal. I signed up for the speaker public hearing. All right, we will now open a public hearing at 6:54. No one has signed up to speak on this issue. Someone will speak on it.
Yeah, Mr. Tony's gonna give us an update on behalf of the Foothills Regional Commission.
Okay, very good.
Good evening, everybody. Great to see you all. Thank you for having me. Thanks for a little bit of normalcy in what's been a week of very abnormalcy, so I do appreciate that. I do want to say thank you to you guys for letting us just use your facilities, getting our staff at Foothills to take a shower, clean bed, electricity, all this kind of stuff. We've been really felt supported by Zach and by you guys, and I just want to say thank you. I'm going to talk about our community development block grant. It's a much simpler match, I promise, on this one. Very, very cut and dry, which is $0 locally. So the community development block grant was a program started by the federal government with the goal of kind of fixing homes, right? Building, kind of facilities for folks, low, moderate income folks. one of the things we kind of had discussions with folks in Cleveland County is the need for kind of this targeted investment in folks who fall under this category. A lot of times here, especially in our rural areas, we see folks who are widows, widowers, people on Social Security, people on disability. You see it with disabled veterans, etc., who, for the lack of a better word, are really house poor, right? They own a home, maybe they inherited it, maybe they bought it years and years ago, but because of life or circumstance or whatever else, haven't really been able to keep it up, haven't been able to do the necessary repairs, and it's starting to slowly but surely degrade and decay. This program allows the town of Bowling Springs to receive $950,000 that goes towards repairing those homes within the community. Now, it doesn't have to be just, set right in on those town limits and get on the, it can be some other things too, but it's really what it goes towards is right to those homes. This is a huge deal right now. The cost of a new construction on a home is roughly $300 a square foot. On a good day, it's been some bad days, so I expect that number to probably start going up here shortly. But with that being $300 a square foot, if we can preserve these homes, if we can help extend their lifespan 5, 10, 12, 15 years, that's huge from a housing affordability standpoint. That's huge from housing access. It's a really big deal that really serves our community and serves folks who need it. This is a great program. I'm excited to work on this with y'all. Zach and I have been talking about it a good bit, and we're both excited about what this means for the community here. And I do want to thank you for your support on this, and thank you for your time. Do y'all have any questions about the program, process, anything at all? This is our first public hearing. This is kind of just to gauge, hey, what kind of public comments, any engagement we have. Otherwise, it'll move forward. We'll have another public hearing where the application is kind of finalized, and then we send it to Raleigh, hopefully, ideally for approval. So that'll be later in the month, though. But I'm happy to answer any questions about process, timeline, CDBG, anything on that.
Any questions from council?
If not, thank you for your time this evening. It's great to see y'all. Hope to see you soon and work with you on this project. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we will close the public hearing at 6:58. And then, do you need action tonight? That comes on the 10th.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, so now we are to staff reports. Is that Mr. Report?
Yes, a couple of things. You will notice that, you'll notice a definitive shift in the list, so almost pre-Helen, post-Helen. The state is requiring me to inform you that we have to update our technology usage policy to explicitly include a line that bars employees from looking at sensitive images on their town-issued devices. This is not unique to North Carolina, or to Boiling Springs. It is a session law that they just passed. It has always been the policy of the town of Boiling Springs for some time now. It is currently in the personnel policy, but we have to add the word pornography because that's what the law requires us to do. And according to the law, people have until January the 1st of 2025 to get any of those images off their devices. Though if an employee of the town has those on their device currently, then they will no longer be an employee of the town. So just, I have to let you know that, so that's happening. Music at the Park is scheduled for October the 10th. We will not have a beer garden because it's Music in the Park. Tracy and Renee have worked diligently on that. We've got a good number of food trucks coming. And so that event is scheduled to continue. That will also be the Jerry Hensley dedication. And so we'll do all of that evening. Before that, at 5:30, we have that called special meeting of the council to hold the second public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG. I never get that right. And so we'll have that called meeting. You all called for that at your last council meeting, set those dates. So that will be at 10:10 at 5:30 p.m. We will have that in here. Mr. Tony will be back, and conduct that for us. We will forgive him today in light of the severe weather for wearing his Keep Shelby Beautiful shirt.
I was wondering when that joke was gonna be made.
Well, but we'll forgive that briefly, and chalk that up to the weather. Maybe he had nothing else to wear. On September 24th, thereabouts, an article was submitted to the Shelby Star that highlighted the town's Safe Streets for All demonstration grant funding in the amount of $483,000. Those funds will be used to make pedestrian improvements in the downtown corridor and also at the intersection. That funding was not part of the $2.4 million renovation forecast. And so that will go on the revenue side. And so that will definitely be a wonderful asset to us. So when we were forecasting before, I left that item blank because I didn't know we would get it. And so that was a welcomed addition. Keep in mind, October 17th, it'll be a tense day. That's the day we will hear if we get the $850,000 grant from the state of North Carolina and the North Carolina Department of Commerce. So keep that in your head, milling around. We were scheduled to have town council policies and procedures to you all this month. Unfortunately, that did not happen. We're very sorry. We're gonna push that to November, maybe December. But we'll pick that up, we promise. It shan't be forgotten. Today at 6:18 p.m., we completed the merger regionalization feasibility study application and submitted that to North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. Happened at 6:18 p.m. today. We've worked with partners from the School of Government, McGill and Associates, Town of Lattimore, and Cleveland County Water to submit that. This is gonna be a study of our sewer system and the Lattimore sewer system. And they will measure and game out every option between us taking it over and them building their own wastewater treatment plant. So they will, they're not gonna do that, cause it'll be $100 million. So they ain't gonna do that. But they will game every option in between, including, maintaining the status quo agreement. What would it look like for us to take their system? What would it look like for Cleveland County Water to take that system over? They'll chase all of those rabbits, and then they'll identify what the cost would be, so that the state could then give a rough estimate that said, okay, Boiling Springs buys the Lattimore system, we'll give you a lump sum payment of X amount of dollars to maintain it, or bring it up to a level of standard that we would like to see. The town continues to be under a state of emergency in response to Hurricane Helen or Helene. I have no idea. Helene. Town staff are continuing to work. We have been operating under a series of instant action plans. We are in Operation Period 7. Currently, we will be shifting to Op Period 8 tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We're currently in 24-hour operational periods. Tomorrow's priority is to continue sanitation services on the Wednesday route and to get solid waste and yard waste pickup completed for the Tuesday route. They will start tomorrow morning in Spring Forest, make their way down Skinner Road and then down East Homestead. We did get backed up today in Twin Lakes subdivision. There's so many trees over there. Twin Lakes and Spring Forest are always heavy areas for trees, so we knew that we would be hung up there. And so what citizens will see is if they were in the Monday route, we will not be back to pick up that yard waste and debris until at least next Monday. We're trying to maintain that normal schedule as best as we can. It just, today we did get off, but they're working tirelessly. We have diverted additional town resources and staff. As Mr. Cook mentioned, several people have been moved from their normal working routine into different auxiliary positions to make sure that we are getting that debris up as quickly as possible. With that, I do not have any other updates other than to say I have not communicated with you all individually as much as I would have liked. And I do apologize for that, but we have been locked and loaded, so I've tried to communicate with you as a group. and making the assumption if you needed something individually, you would reach out to me. And so, but if there's anything that we can do from a town perspective, please feel free to reach out. You know, we're wanting to make progress, trying to be as communicative as possible with the public, especially as people are coming up on a week without power. We know that gets very frustrating. Mayor Fantastic.
Yes. I'm hoping for the text that my power is back on. So far.
I missed that, Dana Stansbury's here, the Executive Director of Foothills Regional Commission. She used our facility this evening, to try to get a hot shower, and she was supposed to come before, and so we could do it before and after, but she told me no. And so, but we're glad to have them, and Mr. Tony and Mr. Bordeaux as well. We love the Regional Commission. They do great work, and they are heading up our Fork County Region's FEMA response. And so we've leaned on them heavily already, and will continue to do so. So we definitely appreciate all the work that they've done.
If I could say one thing, first of all, it's a pleasure to be back, and I'm thankful I'm on this side instead of over there where Zach is this time. We have just been inundated with requests. We've reached out to all our managers, what can we do, what can we help with? Zach is the only one that's reached out to us and said, how can we help you? And Alan's here, I'm here, my kids have been here, we've been here twice and I take showers, I really appreciate that. It's nice even driving from Polk County to get clean, I'll do what I have to do. But, Zach, we had some FEMA trainings a while back, and Zach took them very seriously. He was one of the only managers in our Polk County region that was there, and he has been on top of it. So, you should be very proud of him. So, I just wanted to say thank you. I really, really appreciate the use of the facility, and that Zach's doing such a great job. It makes our job easier, so thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, Zach. I'll try to keep it random every week. I'm sorry. I just decided to go alphabetically tonight, my last name, so Councilman Ellis, you're up first.
I'm proud to live in Bowling Springs. I say that about every month, and we have the best town in America. I've made that comment in papers and everything else. I'm so proud of our staff, but the one thing that I'm so proud of is communication. It's been awesome. So many times when you have things that go not so well, you don't know what's going on. But the communication through our town manager and mayor has been awesome, and I've heard really a lot of response from that. So I'm proud to be a citizen, and I appreciate the staff taking care of me as a citizen and all as a board member. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Green?
Well, I'd like to echo that, but I'd like to maybe go a little further, I think, and I've had probably at least 10 people tell me how much they appreciate Zach and how he's kept the citizens informed.
Yeah.
But I'd like to go back one step behind him and commend the staff. I just think they have been unbelievable. I actually had a lady from Twin Lakes or Development today tell me how proud she was to see the town over there today and how she commended the employees. And I'd like to suggest that maybe when we get all this settled, that we find some way to recognize the entire staff through a luncheon, and I'm probably going out on a limb here. If there's any way, I think if we could reward them in some way, even monetarily, I think that would be great. I told somebody today, when I was about 20 years old, I'd tell somebody, as soon as I get old enough, I'm moving out of Bowling Springs. And they'd say, why? I say, because everybody here knows your business. And now, somebody says, why do you live in Bowling Springs? I say, because everybody knows your business.
That's right.
If you have a need, you couldn't be in a better place. If your need's known, it'll get met. And I have just been amazed last 2 days, at the town and the church where we served 1,000 hot dogs in 2 days. And the people come there are so appreciative, and believe me, I get emotional sometimes because there's a lot of people that are there's a lot of people in our area that are in trouble. I mean, I complain because I don't have any power, I don't have any hot water. That's temporary. A lot of people are facing catastrophic life-changing things. And, I'll echo Billy, I just couldn't be more proud to be a citizen of the town of Bowling Springs, and I'll make a motion, so I'll pass.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Lee?
It's definitely been a challenging time, and we appreciate the staff for all your hard work. You know, I think we all get complaints from time to time, but in this situation, I've received more compliments about what the town has done, what community has done, and I mean, even my little neighborhood came together and helped each other out, and I know that went on in a lot of the neighborhoods, and we still got a little, more work to do. And as Councilman Green said, there's areas that got hit a lot harder than us. So we're fortunate in a lot of ways, but we do have a heartfelt thanks to your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Thomas?
Yeah, in the consent agenda, Austin was, his service weapon was in there, and I really wanted to just take a moment for him to stand up, and maybe for us to offer a round of applause. I mean, to be able to retire. To be able to retire from law enforcement is sort of an oddity nowadays, and I really greatly appreciate your service and your dedication, and not just you, but to all the police officers who serve. But so thank you. You'll be greatly missed. Second of all, again, I can't thank the staff, the management, everything has just been wonderful, and I've heard great responses. The communication was phenomenal, and the resource management was phenomenal. I don't know who arranged the food trucks to come, but or whatever, however that happened, but we had a pretty good need for that, and sometimes that's a difficult need and hard to manage. So thank you, staff, and I hope that, like Tommy said, I hope we can find some way of doing a bonus or compensating them something. Let's see, the next thing is, I was really extremely worried when I heard about Seth Green, but I'm thankful that he was okay during that time period. So we were extremely lucky after losing Jerry Hensley in an accident that we didn't have another situation like that. So thank you to Caleb Edwards and to the whole Bowling Springs Little League effort. I mean, that's just, Daniel talks about this community and how we all have been here, but that will be something that will continue to bring our community together. And Pat mentioned this, Pat stole my thunder a little bit. I mean, we had neighbors, and it's not just in High Point subdivision, it's in every subdivision, it's in every situation where they were out helping each other. And some people had generators, and some people were fixing coffee, some people were making meals. I ran a chainsaw for a couple of days. I've got to keep my day job because I don't want to run a chainsaw. But that's what Bowling Springs exemplifies, is just the time when we needed to come together. And they're still doing that. I heard chainsaws and stuff still running today. And then lastly, I would just ask that you pray for the North Carolina DAC staff, especially Division 4, which I work, and that's from Cherokee to Mecklenburg and then all the way up to Boone. We still have officers that are unaccounted for, and staff that are unaccounted for, and people that we don't know where they are. So, and not just us. A lot of people are in this.
Councilman Wood?
Okay, I'm gonna try to do this without getting emotional. The whole list, Mayor Thomas, for everything that he's done, his Facebook live post, keeping the citizenry knowing about what's going on, for Zach being an awesome leader through all this. Tracy, I think Tracy's the one that's responsible for all the food trucks. I mean, Sunday we came by here and there's 4 food trucks and there must have been 80 people outside the town hall. I mean, what a community. Rhonda and Mike and Nathan and Isaac and Renee, all of them. Awesome staff. Just an awesome staff. And again, proud to be in Bowling Springs. And I'm going to read the Facebook post that I saw today. And this came from Will Strap. And I know he used to be with Shelby PD. He's got a job up in Rutherford County. But I just want to read his post to you all. When all is said and done, the way the town of Bowling Springs, North Carolina went about constantly communicating with and updating its residents should be written about in emergency management textbooks. Y'all did a jammed up job. That's Bowling Springs. That's it. That's it.
Zach, what was it your dad said? Congratulations on doing the job you're supposed to do.
Congratulations on doing the job we pay you for.
Yeah, right.
We pay you to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I like your dad more.
Yeah. I was here. I wasn't doing anything but sitting and watching, and who knew what day it was, and employees are here on Saturday and on Sunday and making things happen around the clock, I mean, essentially. And they keep telling me they want to remain behind the scenes. But we know what you do. We see you, and we really appreciate it. You guys were almost, it's like you were built for this. And I hope that we never have to experience this again. But people don't know all the things that went into making it seem like we're just living the next day. And the amount of work that you guys have put in is really, really, really extraordinary. I see the Appalachian State shirt. My son was in Boone, and those first couple of days are really tough, because you can't communicate. His car was fine. His apartments at the University Highlands were fine, but many of his friends' cars washed away. Another of his friends' car got flooded out trying to rescue those friends, being kind of college kids. My son ended up taking those people to meet their parents, and he and his friends stopped at a store that had not been ransacked and bought 10 cases of water and brought it back to the apartments that didn't have. And that makes me really proud of my boy. But he isn't unique. Like the human spirit that has always been here has just been ignited in a way that is really, really something to behold. The food trucks were, the fair was going on, but if you didn't know it, we were having the fair in Boiling Springs. People were out, and I really, at one point, if it weren't so devastating, it could have been a night where we were having music and just hanging out. But people were here to share in the struggle with each other. And one thing I've learned, I guess I've probably known this anyway, but you can't meet anybody around here that isn't at least a friend of a friend. You can't really get more than 2 degrees away without somebody saying, "Oh, I know him." And that was really, really something. It all started before the storm even passed. These things you guys are talking about, it was still raining at 8:30, at 9 o'clock, and so many people are out serving each other. And again, it isn't new. It's Boiling Springs. It's who we are. It's this area. It's who we are. And so we definitely will continue to dig out and turn our eyes to those who are really hard hit, but remembering that there are those in our community who have been really hard hit and will take a while to recover. Please.
One thing, Mayor, is my father-in-law had a 100-year-old tree. There have been people that have come by, pictures taken, asked about the tree. I remember when that tree was there, and now it's gone. But it's amazing how things change, and that tree's gonna be missed. There's a bunch of trees up there, but like you were saying, that's nothing compared to what some people have gone through, lives and missing people and things like that. But I just think about how many people have been by that tree in 100 years. So that's just little things, but we're blessed. I'm telling you. And I'll never forget, I said a prayer. When that power came on, it was amazing. I only had a couple of days, but I found out in a hurry. I watched the little house on the prairie, and I didn't want to live like they did. So, but we're blessed. And I say it again, I'll say it all the time. I'm blessed to live in a town like Bowling Springs.
I like that. Something good.
Thank you.
First of all, I think we've learned something tonight that probably we didn't know before, and that Zach began preparation for this a long time ago. He took the FEMA and stuff like that seriously. So I think he should be commended for the force. Oh, we're sorry that you had to use it so quickly, but we're at least glad that you showed the interest there. The other thing is, it's far reaching. I share with us, some of them know, and some of you might or might not know that at Baptist Church, we've been feeding people for 2 days. Feed them hot dogs for 2 days, a lot of them come back, but I didn't hear anybody say, I don't want another hot dog. I said that, but they didn't. But this afternoon, we received a call from, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, in Indian Trail. Said he had heard about what we were doing. And he wanted to know if he could come to the church on Thursday afternoon and feed people barbecue free. So he said he thought he had enough barbecue to feed at least 300 people. So at, I think 5 o'clock, it's on there. I think you shared it on Facebook page. I think 5 o'clock. So I mean, it's, other people are seeing. First of all, they're seeing their need, but the other, there's just a lot of good people. There's just a lot of good people in the world that don't get any recognition. All we watch on the TV is bad news, but I'm amazed at how many good people they are, and a lot of them live in Bowling Springs.
Anything else, council? Power is on in Tony, and all caps for my daughter, so it must be on in Law Avenue as well, and Hillcrest, so we are, all right, that's good stuff.
I'll just share one other thing. My fire came on about 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and I was like Billy, almost, shared tears. I got a message from Duke Energy yesterday telling me that 115 Lindsay Lee Lane, my fire will be on October the 5th at 7:45 p.m. I told somebody, I'd rather get that message late than early.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because, but
Thank you all for coming. You're welcome to stick around. We are going to enter our. Go ahead. Yes.
I feel, so I want to extend on behalf of the staff our appreciation to you all and thank you all. And I want to reiterate what I hope is not news to anyone. I just sit behind a desk. I'm not picking up your limbs. These guys and our staff have worked miraculous wonders. I'm not good at tooting our own horn. The only municipality to run solid waste collection on Monday. The first municipality to declare a state of emergency. The first municipality that said, hey, we need a resource center set up for donations and collections. First local government in the county to do that. And it's not me, it is them. We are blessed with, just in so many facets, but with a competent, hardworking, and caring staff that exceeds expectations across the board. And I do not say that often, it's just because I'm not good at giving compliments. It's a character flaw that I have. I'm working on it, but they're laughing because they know. But we truly, just sitting back and thinking, a year ago, I did not know. I would not have had any idea about the kind of people that we hire and that work for this town. And they are of a different breed and a truly superlative group of individuals and public servants. And I could not be more prouder of them and of the work that they've done and of the support you all give us consistently. And so, on their behalf, I'd like to say thank you to you all for helping us and always being there to support us. Thank you.
You are welcome to stick around, but we are going to go into closed session, so you can also leave. We need a motion. Yeah, we will, is there a motion to go into closed session? Motion to go. Motion from Councilman Wood, second from Councilman Thomas. That's 7:24, 5 minutes. Trace that 5 minutes. Conference room.
Duke Energy said we're short.